Hello guys, welcome back to Analytics with TM. So in this video, I will be telling you about how we can break the single merge table into three different dimension table. Basically, I'm going to tell you about the normalization. I'm having one fact table, which is a transaction table, and I'm going to break this transaction table into three different dimension tables. So this table will act as a centralized fact table, and the other three tables will act as a dimension table. After then, I am going to create a modeling out of these fact table and the dimension table. And after then, we are going to pull this semantic model into our Power BI. So guys, let's back to screen. So let me show you the transaction table which I am having. So basically this is our sample data set in which we are having the transaction records. So we are having transaction ID, order number, line item, order date, delivery date, quantity. Also, other than that, we are having the customer type of information, just like you can see from column G to column let me scroll to column P. We are having the customer related data. Also, we are having some store related data from column Q to column U. You can see we are having the store related data also in this table, and also we are having the product type of information. So basically, Excel users, what they are doing, what they are combining each and every data into a single table. Okay, basically here what we are going to do, we are going to normalize this table, and we are going to create a dimension table with the information like we are breaking these columns into our new table, just like customer, and we are going to create another table for the store, and we are going to create another table for the product. Okay, so as you can see, the store id is having some duplicate records. So once we are creating the dimension table, we are going to keep it as a unique, so it will reduce the rows and it will help in the performance. So once we are creating all these three tables, so we are going to join with our transaction table, and we are going to create a star schema out of it. Okay, so basically let me pull this table into our data flows in Microsoft Fabric. Okay, so let me open my Fabric account. Okay, let me log in. Okay, so basically this is our Fabric account. Let me create a new workspace for it. I will name it as a transaction. Okay, now let me create a new lake house. Name it as a transaction. Okay, so from to the file section, I am going to upload this file. Okay. Okay, so we have successfully uploaded our file. Okay, now let me go back and create one data flow. Let me name it as a transaction. Okay, now let me pull this file from to a lakehouse. Okay, let me Okay, now you can see we have successfully loaded our data into our data flow. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to create some, we are going to duplicate this table 3 times. Okay, we have to create the 3 dimension table out of it. Okay, so let's go over first customer table. Okay, so let me here select the customer data only. Okay, so from here to here. Okay, now let me remove other columns. Okay, so basically this is our customer table. Let me rename it as a customer. Okay, now here what we have to see, we have to see any duplicate records. So basically we have to remove any duplicate records. So we have to make it as a dimension table. So we have to keep the ID as a unique. Okay, now basically we are having this unique records in our table. Okay, now let's move to another table. So in this table we are going to store only the store data. So let me select the columns which are related to store. Let me remove the other columns. Let me remove the duplicates. Okay, now let me name it as a store. In the similar way, we have to go for to the product information. Okay, let me select the product related columns. Let me remove the other columns. Let me remove the duplicates. I'm going to name it as a product. So basically if you want to check the unique records, you can go to our view, and in data view you can enable this, and you can see we are having the distinct records. Okay, in store you can see all the unique records. Okay, so basically we are having this customer ID and store ID and product ID. this will act as a primary key for our transaction table. So we are going to create modeling with the help of these keys. So these keys will act as a primary key for our transaction table. Okay, now let me remove this column profile. So now let's go to our transaction table. So here we have to get rid of all those columns which we have created, just like customer type of columns we have to remove. We have to remove the store type of columns, and we have to remove the product related columns. We have to keep this product ID and store ID and customer ID as a key column, and we have to remove other columns. Okay, let me get rid of all these columns which are not required. Let me remove the store related columns. Now let me remove the product related columns. Okay, so basically we are having customer ID, store ID and product ID from all these three tables. Okay, so now basically this table gives us the order related information, just like order number, line item, order date, delivery date and quantity, and the three foreign keys from which we are going to create the relationship. Now let me name it as a transaction. Okay, now let me add the data destination to our lakehouse. Okay, for customer also let me give the data destination to our lakehouse. Data type was not defined, so define the data type. For store also let me give the data destination to our lakehouse. Okay, now let me publish this data flow. Our data flow is successfully published. Now let me go to our lakehouse so as to create a modeling. Okay, now let me go to SQL Analytics endpoint into our modeling section. Okay, so let me select the tables. Okay, these are some auto generated tables, system generated tables. So these we will hide, or these will not show when we pull our semantic model. Okay, let me put close to our transaction table. Okay, so product ID to product ID. Customer ID. Okay, the store ID to store ID. Okay, now we can automatically update our semantic model. Okay, now you can see this is our default semantic model. Okay, also you can create a new semantic model, and you can while creating a new semantic model you have to give the name of the semantic model, and you can select all the tables, and it will show into our into our workspace. Just like I'm creating a new semantic model as transaction. Okay, now we select the tables. Okay, so it will create a brand new semantic model, and it will be saved into our workspace. Just like I am creating this semantic model from product ID. Okay, now here what you can do, you can create a new measure, you can create a calculation group, you can also create a new table. Okay, you can also define the row level security here, and you can also the edit if you have if you got one new table, so you can also insert that table into our this semantic model, and you can create the relationship out of that table. Okay, so and this table will be auto saved into our workspace as a new semantic model. Okay. Okay, now let me open the Power BI report to load the semantic model as well as the semantic model which we have created in our lakehouse in SQL Analytics endpoint. Okay, so let me show you how these will look. Okay, so this is our semantic model which we have created newly, which we have new created the semantic model. Okay, yeah, here we got our semantic model which we have created, this one. Okay, the same semantic model will reflect into our Power BI report. Okay, now let me close this one. Again open the Power BI report. Okay, the same you have to select the Power BI semantic model, and you can see this is our newly created semantic model, and this one is our semantic model which was created by SQL Analytics endpoint. So we are going to connect with this, and here we go. So we have all these tables and the relationship which we have created into our SQL Analytics endpoint. The same we got here. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.